I need to tell someone this before I lose my mind. I've been living next door to a woman for almost a year. My wife doesn't know. My wife and that woman have dinner together 3 times a week now. And every time Nicole turns her back, Sophia looks at me like this.
Your wife said the weekend is the most fun.
She says it with a smile that makes my blood pressure spike.
How could I possibly stop enjoying this?
I have absolutely no idea what to do. Chapter 1. The House. 2 years married, no kids yet. Nicole and I moved into this place because she refused to buy an apartment.
What if prices drop right after we buy? We'd be stuck with a massive loan for nothing.
Apartment prices in this area have only gone up for the last decade.
What if this time is different? Can we just rent somewhere decent for now and watch the market?
Nicole,
Please, just for a year or two, then we decide.
I gave in. We moved into the 3rd floor of a multifamily building. No elevator. 2 units per floor, sharing a stairwell. Close to the station, good commute, quiet neighborhood. Nicole was happy. I was fine. Then 3 months ago, someone moved in next door. Chapter 2. The first morning. It was a Sunday. Nicole had gone to her parents for the weekend. The doorbell rang at 10 a.m. I opened the door, still half asleep. The woman standing there looked like she'd just woken up too. No makeup, long, straight black hair loose around her shoulders, skin pale and clear. She was, objectively speaking, extremely pretty.
I moved in yesterday. I rang the bell yesterday afternoon, but no one was home, so I came back today.
Oh. Welcome to the building.
Are you living alone?
No, I've been here about a year with my wife. She stepped out this morning.
I see. She smiled. Something about the smile felt slightly sideways. I brought a moving gift, but I'd rather give it when she's home. Otherwise, it might create an awkward situation, don't you think?
She said it like a joke, but it didn't entirely feel like a joke.
I'll come back in the evening then.
She went back to her door. I stood in mine for a moment longer than necessary. Chapter 3. Nicole's Reaction. Sophia came back that evening as promised. Nicole was home. I expected them to chat for half an hour at the door. Sophia had that kind of energy. Nicole answered in 3 sentences, accepted the gift, and closed the door. That was quick, I said.
If I'd known this building had all kinds of people living in it, we wouldn't have moved here.
You're the one who wanted to move here.
Don't start.
The gift was a mid-range bottle of whiskey. Actually, a thoughtful choice.
Why would she bring alcohol? Does she think we drink?
You drink more than I do.
That's not the point.
I didn't push it. But at dinner, Nicole talked about nothing but Sophia. How she looked. How young she seemed. How confident she was for someone with no makeup on. I made one comment. Something about how she probably got her eyelids done. And Nicole nearly flipped the table.
Double eyelid surgery doesn't even count as real plastic surgery. Why are you defending her?
I wasn't defending her.
You were looking at her.
I answered the door.
You were looking.
We argued through dinner. The next morning, Nicole left for her parents' house early, saying something sharp about how I could spend Sunday with my neighbor if I liked her so much. Chapter 4. The Sunday. About 10 minutes after Nicole left, the doorbell rang. Sophia. No makeup again, hair loose, an expression like she found something funny.
I heard someone leaving this morning. Your wife?
She went to her parents for the day.
She mentioned yesterday that you could spend time with me today.
She was being sarcastic.
Was she? The sideways smile again. I have no plans. You could come over. We can watch something, order delivery. When your wife comes home, she'll call you first, right? You can just slip back before she gets here.
I don't think...
The walls here are thin. I can hear the front door from my unit. You'd know the second she's back.
I knew I should say no.
Come on, it's just TV.
I said yes. Chapter 5. Her apartment. Her place looked like someone had actually thought about it. Concept for each room: candles, a large yoga mat in the main room with mirrors on 3 walls.
I work out here in the mornings. Simple stretching.
It's nice.
Try not to look so surprised. I'm not just a pretty face.
We sat on her couch and talked for hours. She was more talkative than Nicole, which I hadn't thought possible. Stories about her commute, her work, her last apartment, the reasons she moved here.
Honestly, the commute was killing me. I needed somewhere closer. That's really it.
Same reason we moved here.
See? We're practically the same person.
She laughed. I laughed. Then I heard the heavy sound of the front door of our unit closing. Nicole. Cold sweat, immediate. I stood up.
Wait! She grabbed my arm. If you rush out now, it looks worse. Stay 2 more minutes, then go.
She was close when she grabbed me. Much closer than necessary. I could see her eyes very clearly. Something about the combination of her grip on my arm and her eyes at that distance made me feel like I needed to leave immediately. I left immediately. I hid in the building's blind spot until Nicole called, told her I'd been outside for a walk, waited 5 minutes, and went home. Nicole didn't ask further questions. Chapter 6. The System. I figured out the pattern. When Nicole and I had a real argument right before the weekend, she almost always went to her parents' house Saturday morning. 8 out of 10 times. So I started manufacturing arguments. Small things, trivial things.
You left the dishes again.
I was going to do them after my show.
You always say that.
I always do them.
An hour later.
Nicole,
You know what? I'm going to my mom's tomorrow. I need a break.
I felt guilty every time. I went next door anyway. The second time, Sophia opened the door before I could knock.
I heard the argument last night.
Sorry about that.
Don't be. She stepped aside. Come in.
We started meeting regularly. One evening, after a few months of this, she said something I keep thinking about.
You want to know what I actually like about this? It's not you specifically. Don't take that personally.
Okay.
It's the thrill. Being right next door to your wife. The timing. The listening for sounds. The whole thing.
That's a bit unsettling.
Is it? She looked genuinely curious. You keep coming back.
I didn't have a good answer for that. Chapter 7. The Problem. 3 weeks ago, Nicole decided to stop going to her parents' house. They'd apparently been worried about how often she was leaving. They told her to work on things at home. Nicole took it seriously. She started reading books, attending workshops. She told me one evening that she'd decided she would try harder to understand me, that she wouldn't leave for her parents every time we argued.
I want us to actually work, not just survive.
Nicole,
I mean it. Whatever happens, I want to figure it out together.
I sat with that for a while. Then Sophia texted me from next door.
Haven't seen you in a while. Miss you.
A week later, she was at my subway station when I came home from work.
It's hard to see each other lately.
My wife stopped going to her parents.
I know. I can hear everything through the walls. She fell into step beside me. 10 minutes, just a walk.
I can't.
I'm not going to say anything to her, but I need you to know I'm not going to wait forever either.
I told her no and went home. 4 days later, I came home to find Sophia already inside our apartment.
Oh, Sophia came over. She said there were bugs in her unit. I told her she could stay for a bit while maintenance sorts it out.
I hope that's okay.
She looked at me with an expression Nicole couldn't read. I looked at her with a smile I hoped didn't look like what it was. Of course, I said. Make yourself comfortable. Chapter 8. Now. That was the beginning of the current situation. Sophia comes over almost every day now.
She's actually really sweet. I don't know why I was so cold to her when she first moved in.
People take time to warm up.
She cooks, too. She made that soup last Tuesday. You liked it, right?
It was good.
She said she'd teach me the recipe.
Every time Nicole turns her back to check something in the kitchen, to answer her phone, to step into the next room, Sophia looks at me. Eyes only, slight smile. I cannot describe what it's like to maintain a normal expression while that's happening. Last week, while Nicole was in the bathroom, Sophia leaned across the table.
This is so much better than before.
Stop.
You're nervous. That's the best part.
Sophia,
Your wife is right there. That's exactly why.
Nicole came back. I made a comment about the weather. Sophia said something about the soup recipe. Nicole smiled at both of us. I have no idea how much longer I can do this, or what I'm going to do when I can't anymore,
The weekend is the most fun.
she told me once.
When Nicole goes to her parents' house and we have the whole afternoon. How could I possibly stop enjoying this?
I didn't have an answer then. I still don't. That's where this story ends. Thank you for listening. If this one stayed with you, subscribe, leave a like, and turn on notifications. See you in the next one.